Hello, fluffettes of all sizes. How are you doing on this? Well, for me, it's a rather brisk day, but I'm not going to let that hold me back none. Well, this video is a little late. I planned on actually doing it back in December, but it's here now. So, my bad, my bad. I wanted to go over just a few things about how my travels went when I went to MFF, Midwest Fur Fest. And that was, to be honest, kind of bad for me. First year ever going, first year, actually, second month of owning a fursuit. I ended up getting essentially a nasal infection on the flight there. Spent the first 2 days miserable, which was Thursday, Friday. Was in suit at the reg lines, which were miles long and took hours for anything to seem to happen. There's only one water station in the entire reg line, which if you went in suit was complete and utter murder. I made that mistake. I'll own up to it. That was my fault. Shouldn't have done it, but I did. Well, after that, essentially, I had the nasal infection till Friday night. Throat was sore. I probably was running a small fever, and I was in suit probably 12 hours but between Thursday and Friday I was in suit. I think I came up with like 20 hours. So I literally murdered myself. But Saturday and Sunday felt great. Worst part was, dance competition happened, signups. I was sick. I felt terrible. I didn't really have a ton of energy just because I felt horrible. Absolutely horrible. I gave it my all, though, and as you can tell, I didn't make it in. Also, I learned that year MFF was doing away with the dance competition categories, which, for me, I had danced one other time. Denver 2018. MFF 2018 was my second dance competition ever. Okay? I knew it was like I think I did the math. 114 of us. You figure they take 24. That's like a 1 in 10 chance, I think, that you get in. Something like that. I don't remember the math exactly right now. Either way, that was something that I thought I did really well. My song was a gradual energy curve, and it just kind of got more energy the longer it went. And right when the energy was picking up, right towards the climax at the end of the song, was when I had to stop. From what I had understood, could have been my sickness, could have been a bunch of things. I thought we were going to get like pointers on what we might have done wrong. And here we are in February of the next year. As far as I know, I haven't gotten an email on that. Granted, I had to leave early because I was dying, because I was sick, and the fact that I was in full suit for a dance competition that I just exerted every bit of energy that I had stored up for the 2 days I had been sick. I went back to my hotel room and went to sleep. Saturday, I felt like $1 million. Sunday, I felt like $1 million. I was down for 2 weeks after MFF, essentially, getting over this cold, whatever it was that I got. But back to dance competition categories, when they got rid of them, it basically went and was throwing newbies like me and a large percentage of the other people there that was their first convention, their first time trying out for a dance competition. I felt horrible for them. Because, I felt horrible for myself even trying, because we just got thrown into the meat grinder. Because there was no categories. It was veterans and newbies. And to me, that didn't seem fair. And I know there's reason behind it. They want to put on a show and make all the pretty lights and everything work. Make everyone happy and clap and get going in the rhythm. But to me, that's kind of a downside. Because out of the 24 people who participated in the MFF or got signed up and were part of the MFF dance competition. I don't know if they all made it. 23 of them, you could look up and find history on them. Some of them had placed, some of them had, done other stuff like that. So it's fair to say there was 23 veterans, and one person I could find no history on. That might have just been they had a new suit. But 23 out of 24 people had been in dance competitions and potentially won, and that left just us. The one person representing the, I want to say 80, because I don't actually know. I want to say 80 newbies. To me, that's not fair. And I know there's reasons behind it. And I know I'll probably get flack for that. I don't think it's fair that there should be more veterans. I think the category should stay. That's my opinion. And the thing is, when you get rid of categories, you're deterring the next generation of dancers from even wanting to try out, because they've seen what people can do. They see what people like Beat Boy Flinch, Strobes, Eno and her characters. I do not know them by name. I only know Telephone, and there was a New Horseman, whatever. But they go and have all these great dancers, absolutely great dancers. But that just throws people like me and people who are just starting out, 13, 14-year-olds. It's like, holy cow, I'm ancient to be starting this, but they can dance better than me. I have no dance experience. I'm gonna admit that. I have zero dance experience. All right? When that comes to me going against a veteran, the veteran's going to win all the time, just because I don't have the experience they do. And if I don't get into dance competitions, I don't know how to correct myself in order to make myself better. I got some good insight at Denver when I participated. Of course, the front of me, Beowulf, is entirely black. So I kind of disappear into almost every stage because, I vanish. It's a vanishing act, not intentional. But to me, I really do feel that the categories in dance competitions should stay that, or maybe break it up so that you can only take 20 people into each category and have 2 different dance comps, or just make the dance comp longer and have novice in that and veteran. But dance comps are already fairly long, so I don't know what to really say here. And I do advise you to post in the comments below about what you think about it, and we can have a civil discussion about it. I'm perfectly fine with revisiting this subject later on. I don't have any grudges hitting the same subject until everyone is satisfied with a conclusion, almost like a debate. That's what another section is going to be. Is going to be more debate, but I feel that as it stands, the more conventions that get rid of categories, I feel are not going to have the same amount of turnouts of newbies, true newbies like me, who either never danced or maybe their first or second convention, and they're actually removing new talent from coming up. That's my take on it. Like, if I would have gotten to MFF, I would have been ecstatic. I would have been literally the happiest person on the planet, because that's one of my big goals. And it's not because I just want to get on the stage. That's why I want to the dance comp. No, it's I want to give my all for people to see that even someone who has zero experience dancing can do these things. It's nothing huge. It is huge because it for me, it completely changed how I looked at things. And that's another episode in its entirety. I can go on for that for a long time. But it's something that they really do need to figure out what they're going to do with this, because they get rid of categories. I feel that the new people who are going to try out are going to fall off. The overall attendance, I think, of dance comps is going to drop. The more conventions go, not attendance, but trying out is going to drop when they hear there's no categories. That's my perspective, but I don't have numbers on it. I haven't researched it. That's just kind of my take on it. Do I agree with it overall that they're getting rid of this? I go back and forth. No, I personally don't agree with it. But if you look at it, they're putting on a show, so they want the best talent that the fandom's got. That means that they're going to go and look for the best, which means pretty much veterans only. Sure, you might have a couple people who have dancing backgrounds who get into dance comps, and that's great. But overall, I feel that it's a discouragement for those who really want to try out but are too afraid of the rejection of failing it's going to turn them off. I talked to four people who were sitting next to me, and I had to convince basically one of them to even stay for it because they knew they didn't have a chance. I told them I knew I didn't have a chance, but I told them the statistical average, 1 in 5 or 20% of the people who were going to try out would be newbies who got in. Statistically saying, if everyone was even, around 20% would be newbies. Again, out of 24 people, 23 were easily searched as veterans who had won other dance competitions. Statistically, they were biased. But that's not what I'm saying, because they want the best thing. So they already had a bias. They're looking for the best possible. And when you're looking for the best possible, you're going to look at veterans, because veterans are going to be the ones who are going to be the best. That's how it works. I suppose that's probably enough for that. I should go on to other stuff like the hotels in MFF. I kind of agree with what BLFC is doing right now and doing the room lottery. I feel that that's how the Hyatt Regency should be, a full room lottery. No one gets any choices. Everyone gets a lottery. Y'all put your numbers in, and if you get something, you get something. If you don't, you got to stay in another hotel. That's simple. For me, I got a deal at the MC Suites. MC Suites, it's a great hotel to stay at. Unfortunately, it rained 2 of the 4 days I was there. 2 of the 5 days. 5, 3, 4, I don't know. I was there a couple days, and it rained 2 of the days. And that means crossing their lobby, not lobby, but their little parking area where people unload their cars and take their luggage inside. That means crossing all of that out into the open and getting wet and dirty and everything else, and then having to go across the skywalk, which felt like a mile long, just from the parking garage all the way to the Hyatt, was just such a walk. By the time you got there, you were exhausted. And I get it. I would rather walk that distance inside than have to walk it outside, just because of all the slush and ice and everything else that was out there when I was there. It's not necessarily something that I don't like it. I really like the idea of the Skyway. But with how the Embassy Suites is attached to the Skyway, or its lack thereof, it makes it extremely inconvenient. And I'm not saying MFF moves. I'm not saying it's the hotel's fault. But to me, a little canopy or something would be nice there. I mean, it's a little parking area. Or when they renovated, they could have attached it to there. And I know there's tons of people who had to come from the A-loft. Some of them got a shuttle ride. I know some of the people from the Comfort Inn had to take a bus or something, I think. I don't know. But that's what I'm saying, is it shouldn't be up to the people who have the best computers or the best internet to get into the Hyatt. It should be a completely random chance. Also, I noticed that the Hyatt, most of you also probably noticed this, when the rooms came open for after the fact that the registration had closed and all that stuff, they marked them up from, I think their average for the month of November, December was like $170 to almost $400 a night. Okay, there's a level of gouging I'm all right with. That's too much. That's a 200% gouge. And I know that, you know, they're trying to gouge people to get lots and lots of money because this is a big, big convention. Okay, it was like 11,000 people last year. It's going to be even bigger this year. Who knows? We might break 13,000, 14,000 because it's the 20th anniversary. I hope they throw big, big stuff. But I think the Hyatt needs to be entirely lottery. All of it. Every room that they have available should be entirely lottery. And even if people back out later, it should be entirely lottery on the people who have already signed up and haven't won anything. That's my take. I feel that once your convention reaches a space that the main hotel where it is held is at capacity, you should hold room lotteries. That should be the only way to get a room at big conventions. My opinion. It's not a popular one, but that's how it is. I feel that should be the only way to get into a main convention hotel when the hotel is bigger than the capacity, or the convention is bigger than the capacity of the hotel, should be entirely lottery based. There's a lot of places that it's already like that, or it's getting close. You know, maybe if it's twice the capacity of the hotel, do a lottery. Because, I mean, if you look at a hotel, they have maximum occupancy. That's never followed on any form of convention, I'm sure. But there's a point when you have to go to lotteries. Do I like it? No, because you're gambling for a hotel room that you don't even know if you'll get. But I digress. To be fair, that's what you have to do. If you want everything to be fair across the board, so everyone has an equal chance, you need to go with a room lottery. And I feel there's going to be lots of conventions that are going to go to room lotteries, which I'm fine with. You know, I actually got through this a little bit quicker than I was thinking. But so this has been an episode. I plan on bringing more. This is just a cover-up one because I was really late on making this. I haven't had a lot of time just between doing stuff around the farm and a bunch of other stuff. Either way, I hope to catch you another time, hopefully soon. I'm heading out for now. Catch you later. Maybe. Got to figure out where my stuff went. I keep talking.